Hey, what's up, guys? It's Barn on 11970, and as always, I thank you for watching my video. Thought I'd make one more before I call it a day. A couple people are emailing me the past couple of days, and again, like I said in the previous video, that I actually didn't have internet access because of a problem with the pole. That was actually before the snowstorm, where people were asking because they haven't heard from me if I was okay. And people know I live on Long Island, and we got hit pretty bad with some snow, roughly about 1.5 to 2 feet of snow. What I found funny, and this shows that the average person out there will never learn, is from what I was understanding, there were, again, long lines of people waiting for gas, gas stations running out of fuel, and people flooding the supermarkets to get everything last minute. Now, I didn't have to leave the house for anything. Basically, I had to leave. I had to DJ on Sunday, a small 2-hour party. But the roads, even 2 days after the snow, I mean, the roads are horrible. Anybody that lives on Long Island or anywhere in this general area, please be careful. But I didn't have to go out for gas because I did that 2 days before the storm. And plus, I have gas in my home, a couple of gallons just in case for emergencies, plus fuel stabilizers, so I never have to worry about them getting old. I already have all the food that and water that I need, everything that's necessities. So it just shows so many people think preppers prep for things for the end of the world scenario. And I think that's just using fear tactics, trying to make people like that seem extremist and people you should stay away from. We prepare for everything. That's why during the hurricane that we had, we didn't have to worry about anything because we were prepared. This snowstorm, 1.5 to 2 feet of snow. The roads are in dangerous condition. We didn't have to go out for gas, didn't have to go out for food, didn't have to go out for anything. So people have to really understand that the average person out there just will never learn. I tried to warn all my friends on Facebook about Hurricane Sandy and how you should prepare for these things and learn your lesson and see what happened. And the same exact people, right before the storm, were complaining about how they were waiting hours in line for gas and not being able to get food because there were 10,000 people going to the supermarkets right before the snowstorm. Well, this is what happens, and this is what is going to tell people what's going to happen in any major catastrophe, no matter what it is. Whether it's some kind of collapse of an economy, if there's some kind of war scenario, if there's a weather problem, or something like, for example, that Louisiana sinkhole with all its methane gas causes some kind of major catastrophe. These are all potential things. It doesn't guarantee, but even just something as simple as a tree falling over in front of your house, knocking out all your wires, and now all of a sudden you have no electricity. Anything can happen. You could get sick and can't get out of your bed and have no one, you might live alone and have no one to take care of you. How do you go and get your stuff? What if you break your leg? So it's not always about being prepared for some doom and gloom, meteorite hitting the world and dinosaurs coming back to life kind of situation. You prepare for anything because you know what? If you live alone and break a leg and you can't get out and you can't make any phone calls or there's no one to call and you have no food and water, guess what? It could be the end of the world for you. So this is why people prepare. And I'm so tired of the mainstream media trying to make us all out to be these crazy people who are all about the world is going to come to an end tomorrow. I would love anybody to show any video I've ever had where I talk about how there's going to be a meteorite hitting the world and we're all going to die. It's just dumb to think that way. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't prepare for things. Why do people have insurance? For cars, for example, it's not because they're hoping that they're going to get into a car accident. It's not that they wake up every day after having a dream envisioning they're going to die in a car accident. It's there so just in case they do have some kind of accident, whether it's minor fender benders or a major problem, they are taken care of. It's all about protection beforehand. Now, this should tell all the people out there that watch these type of videos what the average person is going to be like when there is any kind of crisis, whether there's a stock market crash, the economy, the dollar becomes worthless, or there's a food rationing, or there's martial law presented for some reason, because it doesn't always have to be military reasons, because you see in the Northeast, because of the storm, There were people making videos that live up around Boston and areas like that, even parts of Connecticut, where they were enforcing a martial law, which meant you got arrested if you left your house. So the average person out there is not going to do anything until they have no choice. So just think of 99% of the population trying to go to the store, trying to go to the bank, trying to go to a hospital, trying to get fuel. Do you want to be one of those people? If you think that things like this are crazy, you have that right. But if you want to be one of those people waiting 5 hours in line for gas, that's your choice. Just explain that to your children that you thought at the time beforehand was crazy because everything was wonderful. You ever hear the sentence or the statement, the calm before the storm? Well, when you see people like the Pope, you see all these CEOs and the people in the government stepping down, to me that suggests potentially, because nothing in life is guaranteed that you don't know about, that the rats are sinking, leaving the sinking ship. Now, that doesn't mean the ship is sinking tomorrow, and it doesn't mean that the people on the ship can't be rescued. But what I'm saying is if you just sit there and say, no big deal, well, that's a risk I'm not willing to take, and a risk you shouldn't take, especially if you have family and loved ones that you care about. So start preparing now if you haven't. It's not about being paranoid. It's not about being afraid. It's not about thinking the world is going to end. It's saying, well, if for some reason I run out of fuel, I'll have a way to stay warm. Or in case for some reason my car doesn't work and I can't get to the grocery store, I already have food. So don't always think end of the world, and don't believe the way people make all of us who prepare out to be. I'm not really thinking the world is going to be coming to an end at any time. It can happen eventually. I mean, things do come to an end, but I don't think it's going to be happening tomorrow. Knock on wood. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Keep stacking. And remember, guys, food and water is very important, so make sure you have some in hand because an emergency can be just around the corner, and you don't want to be one of those people fighting for that last can of food. All right, guys? Peace.